Hi there, Skid Evenstani, CEO of OneWire, and welcome to Open Door. Today we're going to go interview my very good friend Jeff Kelter, who's the CEO and founder of KTR Realty, a private equity firm focused on the real estate space. He's a great guy, he really knows his stuff. Let's go see what he's up to. I'm here today with my very good pal, Jeff Kelter. Before we start talking about your business and what you've been up to and what you've done with your life, let's talk about how did you make the switch to real estate?
This is another one of life's, less callable moments. When I was at Bankers Trust Company, I was dating a girl that lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I met a guy down there that was in the real estate business who was overly impressed with my pedigree. And offered me a job, and we were getting along pretty well. So I ended up leaving the bank and going to work for this real estate developer in Tulsa for almost 2 years. I applied to Wharton, and while I had applied to Wharton, I found a 5-story car dealership. Back in the old days, they used to have 5-floor, big elevators, and the cars are on different floors. And I bought it myself and renovated it. Borrowed a bunch of money and brought in some equity capital and renovated it, and that was my first real estate deal. And interestingly, one of the guys that I brought in as the capital fell in love with it and decided he had to buy it. And so, I invested $30,000 of my own money in I'm going to say it was 83, I could be off by a little bit. And in 86, turned around and sold it and made $1 million. I'm like, this is great. I'm not going to business school. This is great. Right. Probably the last time I made any money for about 10 years.
I got you. And then you set up Keystone.
Well, I set up a company called Penn Square Properties, which we did a bunch of office building, new office, renovated office, warehouse, all around Philadelphia. We built them, we leased them, we managed them. It was a real estate operating company. And in 1997, I took that real estate operating company public. Okay. That became Keystone Property Trust, which was the publicly traded REIT.
Behind every successful person, there are hurdles that they've had to overcome. Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I was in a good mood till you reminded me of that.
There you go.
Things worked out awfully well and was cruising along. And then, the first really, really, really big recession in the late 80s, I was long a couple $100 million worth of real estate, a lot of which was highly functioning, but a lot of which I had signed recourse obligations to finance. Mm-hmm. And so, my first hurdle was waking up one morning, owning a bunch of real estate that wasn't worth anything, owing $100 million against it, and not having any money. I would call that a hurdle. Yeah. Honestly, having been a banker, I sort of knew that if I disappeared, I'd get in trouble. But if I called my banks every day and told them what was going on and talked to them about operating issues, they wouldn't replace me. And the income they paid me to manage these assets kept me alive. We never had a foreclosure. We never had a catastrophe. And I came out of that with the company that I ended up taking public. And so, the story ended better than it started.
And what a lot of people would love to know is, how do they get from where they are today to become somebody like Jeff Kelter who understands the market?
I have kids that come see me now, they're graduating from college, and they go, well, I want to go through an analyst program, and then I want to go get my MBA, and then I want to go into real estate. And they forget the marketing side and they forget the operating side. And to me right now, getting into the financial industry is kind of hard. It's a contracting industry. There's a lot of people that want to do it, and there's not a lot of jobs. So sequentially, it almost doesn't matter. If you go into marketing first and you work for a real estate company, leasing space, you can check that box. Then you go to business school and you start learning the financial aspects of it. You check that box, and then you go, do your thing and learn the operating side as you go. And so the sequence can be different today than it was, for example, when I did it.
Got it. Right now, I want you to talk about you're back at Trinity, and you're talking to the class, and it's your time to sit there and say, okay, it's 2013, you guys are about to graduate. Here are my words of advice.
Yeah. To me, the difficulty when you graduate is in finding, a career path that you love. But within that, finding jobs that give you access to tremendously more knowledge than you've ever had, at the same time that are making you better and better at one thing. And because I think when you wake up and you're 35, I know that sounds like it's a lifetime away, but it's not. You wake up when you're 35, you really want to be really good at something, because that's how you become successful.
Again, I'm here today with Jeff Kelter, President and CEO of KTR. Kelts, can't thank you enough. Really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure, Skip.